the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Go, victory's close. Who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, slick machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR, yeah. NFR, yeah. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Go, victory's close. Who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin.
Well, Liam Lawson rolled into Red Bull's gates. Kiwi kid with dreams so great. 2 races in, he hit the wall. Max Verstappen wrecked him, y'all. He thought he'd shine, but oh sweet son, Max chewed him up like a 2-day run. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. Daddy Rick tried with his big old grin, but Max spun him out, said I always win. Gasly and Albon, they took their turn, crashed and burned, oh how they yearned. Perez hung on till his tires were flat, now Liam's gone, imagine that. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. Red Bull barn's a lonely place. If you ain't Max, you're out of the race. Liam packed his boots, said I'm done, I reckon. Max just smirked, next victim's beckoning. The pit crew sang, he's too dang fast. Every teammate's a thing of the past. Now Lawson's back with the junior squad, singing why'd I think I'd beat that god. Max's shadow looms so tall and wide. Another teammate's pride just died. From Daniel Pierre out of Checo too. Liam learned what we all knew. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. So here's to Liam with a beer and a side. 2 races down and a wide-eyed try. Max keeps winning that Dutch tornado. Red Bull's second seat, a big oh no.
He came from Stephen, magic kid with a dream. Karting in the rain, built a winning machine. McLaren's golden boy, 2008's crown. Took on Alonso, never backed down. Mercedes called, he answered with flair. 6 more titles, records everywhere. From Monaco streets to Silverstone's roar. Lewis the king kept asking for more. 7 world champs tied with the greats. Fashion on point, he's owning mistakes. A night on the grid, Sir Lewis would shine. The goat of the track, victory was his line. Oh Lewis, you soared, you won the fight. Race through the storm, a beacon of light. Every lap, every win, you carved your name. The world bowed down to Sir Lewis's fame. Then came Ferrari, red dreams in his sight. Left Mercedes behind, chasing Scarlet Delight. Maranello so cheered, he's our savior, our man. But Spa's wet track had a different plan. I'm useless, he cried, last Saturday's scene. P18 in quali, where's the champion sheen? Ferrari's upgrades, more like a curse. Charles outpaces him, oh, that's gotta hurt. Where's that red card, but the podium's far. Lewis, what happened to your superstar? Monza's falling, but the Tifosi side. Mate, you're struggling and wondering why. Oh, Lewis, what's this? You're losing the plot. Ferrari's red rocket ain't hitting the spot. I'm useless, you said with a shake of your head. Sir Lewis, so mate, is your legacy dead? Oh, slipping away. Oh, Ferrari's gone astray. He's still got the style, the braids and the drip, but the SF25's giving him the slip. Charles takes the lead, he's the Tifosi's pick. Lewis, you spinning, mate, it's getting thick. Hungary's walls, he knows tough fight. Your radio's moaning, this car ain't right. Zach Brown's laughing, McLaren's on top. Lewis, your Ferrari dream's starting to flop. Oh, Lewis, what's this? You're losing the plot. Ferrari's red rocket ain't hitting the spot. I'm useless, you said, with the shake of your head. Sir Lewis, so mate, is your legacy dead? Oh, slipping away. Oh, Ferrari's gone astray. You're still a legend, Lewis, don't you frown. 7 crowns high, you'll never come down. But Ferrari's red curse, it's a comical scene. Pick up the pace, mate, reignite the dream. Oh, slipping away. Oh, Lewis will rise someday.
Young Charles Leclerc from Monaco's bright shore, carded at 8, dreaming of something more. GP3 F2, he tore up every track. By 18, Sauber called, and he ain't looking back. He out and ran old Ericsson, made that Alpha sing. Ferrari saw a star, gave him red in the spring. But in 19, his boots slipped, crashed in Baku's tight bend, and his championship dreams, they're riding with the wind. Oh, Charles Lord Percival, where'd your trophy go? Pole-sitting cowboy, but your luck's running low. From Monaco's glamour to a title-less trail, your dreams done got lost in Ferrari's epic fail. Bahrain 19, you grabbed pole, nearly won the prize, but your engine sputtered, left tears in your eyes. Spa and Monza, you shone, took the checkered flag, but Azerbaijan's walls, you hit them like a stag. Monaco 21, you claimed pole but broke down. Didn't start, left the Tifosi with a frown. And Abu Dhabi 22, you fumbled the crown's chase. Spun in France, and Ferrari through the race. Oh, Charles Lord Percival, where'd your trophy go? Pole-sitting cowboy, but your luck's running low. From Monaco's glamour to a title-less trail, your dreams done got lost in Ferrari's epic fail. 24 was your year, won Monaco at last. Monza and Austin too, you were riding fast. But 25's a tumbleweed, Ferrari's lost its spark. 6th in the standings, you're racing in the dark. China, DQ, your car was light as hay. Miami, you spun out, aquaplaned away. Spain, you nabbed 3rd, but McLaren's far ahead. Fans holla, Fred, fix this while you're crying in bed. Oh, Charles Lord Percival, where'd your trophy go? Pole-sitting cowboy, but your luck's running low. From Monaco's glamour to a title-less trail, your dreams done got lost in Ferrari's epic fail. 26th pole, son, but strategy's a curse. Silverstone 22, they left you in reverse. Monaco 24, wrong tires made the crowd wail. Your title's like a ghost, riding some lonesome trail. Did it roll down a canyon in a Tennessee stream, or get pawned in Vegas for a slot machine dream? Is it hiding in a haystack in a Texas barn, or lost in Monaco's harbor, tangled up in yarn? go. Pole-sitting cowboy, but your luck's running low. From Monaco's glamour to a title-less trail, your dreams done got lost in Ferrari's epic fail. Here's to Charles Leclerc, with 8 wins to his name, 46 podiums, but no title to claim. With Hamilton in red, your star's starting to fade. Lord Percival's trophy, just a country serenade.
Under neon lights and engine screams, she's the guardian of our speed-filled dreams. With skull and flight and alien on the chase, she's the calm in the storm, our guiding grace. Andre by her side, loyal and strong, their love's been racing all along. But it's the brotherhood she holds so near, with every lap she makes it clear. Oh, Death Queen, heart of the grid, with every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach she stands supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen, in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. Trophies shine, but not like her pride, watching Skull and Andre glide. She's there in silence, she's there in roar, in every circuit, every lore. From midnight spins to dawn's first light, she's always there holding us tight. No crash too deep, no curve too wide, with her in spirit, we rise, we ride. Oh, Death Queen, heart of the grid, with every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach she stands supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen, in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. She ain't just a fan, she's a legacy born, through every F1 storm we wore. Holding the line, fierce and unseen, forever our monarch, our Death Queen. Oh, Death Queen, heart of the grid, with every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach she stands supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen, in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. Yeah, oh, Death Queen, you are the queen of our sim racing team.
God, it's broken! It's broken!
Bajo luces de neón y gritos de motores, ella es la guardiana, sueños de velocidad. Con school y vuelo alienígena en la casa, es la calma en la tormenta, nuestra guía sin igual. André a su lado, leal y fuerte, su amor ha corrido desde siempre. Pero la hermandad guarda en su pecho, con cada risa su amor es derecho. Oh, Death Queen, corazón del clan, con cada lágrima levanta los miedos, arrasa el plan. Su voz suave, tu luz sin fin, alfombrosa por reina en el confín. Oh, Death Queen, sombras en júbilo, eres la reina de nuestro equipo de simulación. Será tímida, pero no su orgullo, mira su school y anda en el de tumulto. mundo mira en silencio, ruge en la pista, en cada circuito, en cada conquista. Desde giros de medianoche al alba primera, ella está ahí sosteniendo la bandera. Ningún choque profundo, ninguna curva ancla, con su espíritu subimos, subimos la cima. Oh, Death Queen, corazón del can, con cada lágrima levanta los miedos, arrasa el plan. Su voz suave, tu luz sin fin, alfombrosa por reina en el confín. Oh, Death Queen, sombras en júbilo, eres la reina de nuestro equipo de simulación. Solo una fan, nacida de un legado, en tormentas de F1 su calor nos ha guiado. Feroz e invisible, manteniendo la línea, por siempre monarca, nuestra Death Queen divina. Oh, Death Queen, corazón del clan, con cada lágrima levanta los miedos, arrasa el plan. Su voz suave, tu luz sin fin, alfombrosa por reina en el confín. Oh, Death Queen, sombras en júbilo, eres la reina de nuestro equipo de simulación. Sí, oh, Death Queen, eres la reina de nuestro equipo de simulación.
In the quiet lanes of Silverstone town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill.
Well, gather round, folks, let me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knighted. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fake. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. He's got the helmet, he's got the car, but when it comes to win, he's not quite up to par. He's got the look, like Woody with a cowboy hat. But when he's in the pit, you'll see him shed a tear stack. Now don't get me wrong, he's got some skill, but when you're talking about the best, he's not in that mill. He'll race you hard, give you quite the fright, but in the end he's more known for his tears at night. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So Mr. George, with his heart on his sleeve, in the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run.
Come on, it's broken! It's broken!
Daniil came roaring, a Russian with a spark. Toro Rosso's fire lit up the track in the dark. Promised Red Bull's big seat, he flew in 2015. But Sochi's crash sent him down, Max stole the dream. Back to Toro he went with the "we'll call you lie." Twice they cut him loose, left him high and dry. Helmut's cold handshake, Christian sideways grin. Daniil kept fighting, but the deck was stacked to win. Red Bull's wings, they lift you up, then crash you to the ground. Promise seats and glory, but then lies keep spinning around. From Daniel to Pierre, Alex and more, they fell. Red Bull's driver graveyard, where dreams go to dwell. Pierre was the next kid with a smile bright as day. Toro Rosso star Bahrain's foreshowed the way. Red Bull called him up, said son you're the one. But Max's shadow crushed him, 12 races he was done. Sent back to Toro, told he'd get another shot, but the phone stayed silent, left Pierre in a knot. Jamie and Sebastian, they felt that same old sting. Promised Toro saddle, but Red Bull clipped their wings. Red Bull's wings, they lift you up, then crash you to the ground. Promise seats and glory, but then lies keep spinning around. From Daniel to Pierre, Alex and more, they fell. Red Bull's driver graveyard, where dreams go to dwell. Brendan waited 9 years for a shot to shine, but Toro chewed him up, spit him out by design. Liam got 2 races, thought he'd earn his place. Red Bull said
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to NFR, welcome back to SKR on a Sunday night. We've just gone past 6 p.m. If you haven't had enough Zandvoort this afternoon, well, you're about to get a little more. I don't know if we can go crazier than this afternoon's race. That race involved 3 safety cars, if I'm not mistaken. And an RB that finished on the podium, I would say, on merit. Remember, tonight's round 11 is the second of 2 sprint races on the calendar, which means we're just going to have the one-shot quali. Everybody gets one shot around this circuit, no out lap, no in lap, just one opportunity. You get to feel the circuit prior. That one lap. You make a big mistake, well, you're going to find yourself at the rear of the field, where it's not the easiest circuit to pass. As you can see there on the left hand side, that will give you an idea of who is ahead at this point in time. That time sheet jumps up and down. Driver makes a little mistake, you might see somebody falling down the order until we cross the checkered flag. Don't know for certain, but at the moment this is the quickest man going around the final corner, famous banked corner, and I think he will go over the line fastest. Yes, he does, a 109.3. And no mistakes. Jonas takes pole position for the sprint race. So there are your results. Jonas will go from pole, then Glitch in P2. Got Virus P3, Pantry Star P4, then Andre P5, Skulk P6, Smurf P7, Skull P8, Top Gun P9, Cooper P10. And you've got Harsh Cartoon, Spikes, Captain Slow, and Lebby, who did not set a lap. Of course, now we go off into a sprint race. This is a miniature of what we'll be doing a little bit later. Of course, then for the feature race, we have a separate one-shot quali. So the race will not determine the field for the sprint race. That was something we used to do in the past on this channel. And if you had a terrible sprint race, well, translated to a terrible feature race start. At least now, you do have that terrible sprint race. Slate is wiped clean going into the feature. So now we look down the empty pit lane. You will know the drill. Drivers doing final preparations. Not as many preparations as they would need to be doing for the feature race. Drivers will be just setting their time on one set of tires. They'll be going from beginning to the end. The plan is not to pit. You are making a pit stop in a sprint race, because something has gone very, very wrong. Evening to Polar, and thank you for bringing that to my attention. It wasn't in qualifying, it is in the race. P15, will you look at that? P15 abandoning the comment section, joining the grid. That's Death Queen, starting from the rear of the field. If you're sick of Zandvoort, well, got news for you. We still got to do it one more time this coming Tuesday. SAFRL. Of course, SAFRL was there last week. That was for the reverse Zandvoort. Then we've got Zandvoort tonight, Zandvoort on Tuesday. And then, of course, both of those leagues, this one here, SKR, and the one over on Tuesday, SAFRL, they come to an end. Season 12, rather, comes to an end next week in Monza for both of those leagues. Now we're going to wait for the 5 red lights. Everybody's had a chance to get around the circuit, do a formation lap, get a feel of things, get a feel of the fuel load and the tires. Of course, this is a technical circuit. Some call Sector 1 a roller coaster. It'll be Red Bull versus Haas into turn 1, and a second Red Bull coming from P3. Very good start from Virus. It's a Red Bull 1-2 coming out of the corner. We've got a caution in Sector 1. Don't see anybody falling down the field for now. Glitch in P3. That's the driver that started in P2, so he's lost the position. We'll be looking to make up ground early on. Smurf in one of the Alpines, or rather the only Alpine here this evening. Just the 15 runners, so a few drivers missing. I tend to see that towards the end of a season. Of course, last week Tuesday we saw 20 drivers in the SAFRL lobby. Welcome to Dion in the comment section. Good to have you. Looking through the field, still got that Red Bull 1-2. It was a fantastic start from the second Red Bull, Virus. From out of nowhere, I was focusing on the top 2, and suddenly he became one of the top 2. Bring up your tyres, see who started on what tyre, and well, that might explain the start from the second Red Bull. Second Red Bull starting on a set of soft tyres should give that car just the extra little bite in those opening laps. Of course, just as in the race, Max Verstappen started on that set of soft tyres. Either it was rain or safety car, I'm not sure which one came first, but obviously he was able to come in, get rid of those soft tyres, and get away with a pit stop. Let's see if the drivers who decided to start on the soft compound are going to be just as lucky. There is a lot of cloud about. Or is there a lot of cloud about? Can't really tell. Nope, that's blue. Qualifying, there was a lot of cloud about. There's no cloud about. Of course, still 2 sessions to come after this. We might see rain in the second qualifying. We might see rain in the feature race. Every session is unique in its weather patterns. Jonas 111.2 going quickest. Got his teammate behind him. Then Glitch in P3. Glitch getting very, very close to that Red Bull. I think those mediums have now come up to temperature. He's able to come back at Virus. He's just got the jump on them at the start. Smurf P4 also on a set of soft tyres. Looking very racy in the opening laps. Problem is those softs will fall away quicker than everybody else around them. Nobody starting on the hard tyre. Pretty even split between the soft and medium. Of course, no need for the hard tyre, just the 12 laps, but the drivers going on the soft. A little bit risky. Let's go to, what do we call it? Is it a guest driver? Is it a celebrity driver? Not quite sure. From the comms box to the circuit. We'll be driving around in P14. Set of 2-lap old mediums. It's right. Death Queen. Jonas still out front. Virus still holding on to P2. We saw Glitch very, very close behind him. Just a lap to go, but he's been able to defend that position. Of course, we saw earlier today the likes of Hadjar finishing on the podium. Got there by merit, had to defend from Charles Leclerc, had to defend from George Russell in different parts of the race. And it also showed that it's not the easiest race circuit to make an overtake. I make the overtake in the wrong place and things could end very badly. Jonas, Virus, Glitch, still in P3. The windows and all of that I was talking about earlier, that only comes into effect in the feature race. This is start to finish. Don't break any wings, don't have any incidents. And of course, finish in the top 8. The same points as for the feature race. The feature race, you get points, 25 points for the win, down to 1 point for P10. Sprint race, just the 8 points for the win, down to 1 point for P8. Think of it as a qualifying session with a few bonus points. Rather a practice session with a few bonus points. Previously, this race would determine the field for the feature race. That is no longer the case. We're going to have a separate qualifying session. Many of these drivers weren't happy with that lap first time around, and they know where it went wrong. They can try and fix it second time around for the feature race. All slates wiped clean. Jonas from Virus, from Glitch. Smurf, that's the car we're watching. He's in P4, then Pantry Star. One of the two Ferraris, something you don't see too much of on the circuit Zandvoort. A Ferrari, of course, a double retirement earlier on in the day for Ferrari. Quite a shocker. Even more shocking, they retired in the same corner. I think Ferrari will be quite eager to get back to Italy. And we have one of the two Aston Martins. Actually, the two Aston Martins, Linus Stern, Skulk and Spikes, P6, P7. Not far off where they finished earlier this afternoon. Stroll finished P7, Alonso finished P8. For what looked like at a stage was going to be a disastrous race for Aston Martin. Turned out to be not that bad. We have Andre in P9. First of the two McLarens, the other one at the rear of the field, that's Top Gun. Fortunately for Andre, P9's not good enough points in the sprint race. He's going to have to make up another few positions to make this race a profitable one. Tosh Cartoon briefly up into P9, gets the nose just ahead. He's racing with Andre. It's wheel-to-wheel stuff, corner after corner, and the RB. The RB comes off second best. There was contact. Camera angle means that we don't know where it came from exactly. There was definitely contact. For now, Andre holds on to P9. Tosh Cartoon down to P11. Skull picks up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and if I'm not mistaken, that's his second 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So Skull has retired. I expect you to join the comment section, Skull. Come here and support Death Queen as she has supported you hundreds of times before. That's just on this channel. Can't imagine how many races Death Queen has watched. There is Skull laughing in the comment section. Ooh, what was that? RB Williams. We didn't get a good camera angle of it, but we did see Death Queen coming through that madness. And all sorts of action. Tosh Cartoon out of this race. Cooper out of this race. And of course, Skull retired not so long ago, so a double retirement for the Williams team. No points in the sprint race. They'll get a second opportunity at it. Fortunately, no safety car triggered. Lap 8 of 12, we will continue as if nothing happened. Be a good result for Red Bull. Obviously the points tally in the sprint race much smaller than in the feature race, but a 1-2, that's really good for the team. That's a total of 15 points, just extra. There's nothing wrong with a few points extra. Looking at that Constructors' Championship, Red Bull already leads the way, 266 points. If that championship may be close to over. It takes something very, very special from Sauber and 2 disastrous evenings from Red Bull. And if you're looking at that field, you'll be able to see there is no Sauber. Championship, the Constructors' Championship, open for the taking for Red Bull. Litch qualified in P2, lost that position just off the grid. And been able to regain that position. He was on the medium tyre, maybe expecting Virus's soft tyre to fall off by now. Soft still holding on. I wonder if the medium runners starting to think maybe they went a little too conservative with their choice. The softs look like they're going to get to the end just fine. Virus still holds on to that position. Half a second is the gap, so it is a DRS battle. Like I've said, not the easiest circuit to make an overtake. Penalties were a big problem when we were here in reverse. Looks like everybody has stayed out of the penalties column. The exception of Skull earlier on, pulled a Pasta Maldonado. Well, you're probably too young to know what a Pasta Maldonado is. Well, Pasta Maldonado once got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane while serving a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Andre now in P8, and look who's that behind him. Well, well, well. A battle I didn't quite expect to see. Andre P8, Death Queen P9. And Skull, where are you? Red Bulls by just 0.7 of a second, and this is really impressive because I thought the soft tires would fall off. The advantage would come to the medium runners, but Virus has been able to stay with his teammate. His teammate is Jonas. That is the championship leader on 180 points. Of course, Big T 163 in P2. He's not here. We've got Pantry Star, P3 in the championship, P3 on the race circuit. And then Virus, only P6 in the championship. But now, out front. Virus leads the way. Jonas led the way the entire way. I wonder if that it was a team swap. Or if Virus said, well, I'm taking this one. Very nicely done, left it to the end. If it was a Jonas wasn't expecting that one. Well, there's not a lot he can do now to get it back. It's really, really late. Very nicely done. Virus. These were the old rules. He'd be starting from pole position, but like I mentioned, we're going to have a separate qualifying for that feature race. What a great way to start the evening. Let's get him around this final banked corner and onto the straight before any celebrations. There we go, he's done exactly what he needed to do. Gets around the final corner. It's a Red Bull 1-2. Virus followed by Jonas. Pantry Star in P3. Look at those times. A second between the top 4 drivers after 12 laps. Further back, look how close this is. Andre P8, Death Queen P9. Is there going to be a defense? It's close over the line, and yes, Death Queen's got him. Death Queen's got him over the line. P8, Andre P9, and then Captain Slow makes up the top 10. Of course, the top 10 do not get points in the sprint race, just the top 8. So if Andre did get off the throttle, probably never know about it. Death Queen and the Mercedes on debut here in season 12, picking up a point in the sprint race. And there are your results for the sprint race. We've got to get through it quickly. Virus takes victory. Jonas P2, it's a Red Bull 1-2, then Pantry Star P3, Glitch P4, got Spikes P5, Levy P6, Smurf P7, and Death Queen taking that final point. No points for Andre P9, Captain Slow P10, Skulk 11, Top Gun 12, and then we had the retirements of Harsh Cartoon, Cooper, and Skull. Of course, if you didn't get points first time round, that's the good thing about a sprint night. Get a second opportunity. And well, will you look at that? Said earlier on, qualifying sprint, qualifying feature, those are 4 completely different sessions when it comes to the weather. And we were bound to get rain in one of those sessions, and we got rain in, well, the most important, not the sprint race, not. This is going to make it very difficult. Everybody's going to have a setup for a dry circuit. Who's done a lap in the wet? Probably nobody. And you're not even going to get an outlap to have a look at things. So it's going to be jump straight onto it. I'm kind of hoping this rain stays for the main race. There we go. Straight onto the circuit. Remember, it is a 1-lap quali. So that's why you see the names jumping up and down on the left-hand side of your screen. That is basically an indication of who is fastest at the moment. That is going to jump up and down quite a bit. I'm trying to get to the driver in P1, but it's difficult. There we go. That is the driver in P1. Of course, for now, any sort of lockup, any sort of mistake, and you'll see his name tumble down the field very quickly. There we go. Lights up Sector 1 in purple. The Red Bull that finished P2 in the sprint race, looking to take pole position for the feature. Yeah, and saying apparently Death Queen had quite the good coach. Jonas has been the quickest car, and he's remained the quickest car. He's been on top of that list for quite some time. The list doesn't seem to be moving much. Looks pretty stable. Jonas looks like he's going to be the first driver over the line. He will take pole as he did in the sprint race at 1:16.5. That is close. Spike 16.7. Pantry Star 16.8. Then a bit of a drop down to the driver in P4. Top 3. Pretty close. Polar saying W to the coach. Indeed. Points on debut. Jonas, pole position, Spikes P2, then Pantry Star, followed by Glitch, Smurf, and Lebby 5 and 6, then Virus and Captain Slow 7 and 8, and Skull and Cooper make up the top 10. Bit of work to do in the race. Top Gun starts from P11, then Skull P12, Death Queen 13, Andre 14, and Harsh Cartoon will go from the rear of the field. And that reminds me, where is Visor? The drivers will breathe a sigh of relief. No raindrops, at least for now. Look up towards the skies and, well, definitely a lot of grey about. Drivers will be hoping that clears up and that turns to blue. I think the spectators, as well as the commentator, well, we want that to get darker. And I'd love some rain. Let's have havoc. Penultimate round. Of course, all the drivers now to the right-hand side of your screen doing their final preparations as they were for the sprint race. This time round, they'll be doing a little bit more work, deciding what tyre they're going to start on, how deep into the race they intend to go, and obviously how many times they intend to stop. Of course, an early safety car or a crash into turn 1 can take all of that strategy and throw it out of the window. Got to make sure you have a positive, consistent, yet safe start to the race. Putting a lot of emotes out there with a crying face. I'm not sure if that's because he's not happy with his qualifying position or if that was about the rain in qualifying. Either way, got to get qualifying out of your mind. Now it's all about the feature race, the main event. Sprint race was just to give the drivers a taster of this circuit. Of course, it's a much more simple format. From start to finish, no pit stops. When it comes to the race, a little bit more complicated. Who's going to pit first? Who's going to pit last? There we go. The coach, who up until this point has only been known as the coach, has made an appearance in the comment section. Wheeze, welcome to the comment section. Of course, Wheeze was with us last week Sunday, right here in the commentary box. And now, well, he's talking to Death Queen. Death Queen joining the vacant Mercedes team and bringing with her an engineer. And what an engineer to bring. Driver who's technically P5 in this championship. Of course, choosing not to finish off the championship, rather coaching someone who's usually in our comment section. Death Queen, well done. Points on debut in that sprint race, picking up a point for P8. Feature race a little longer, a little bit more difficult. And it asks that little bit more of you. There's no talk in the comment section of rain, and I know we've got reason here. He's the engineer for Death Queen. We had a few drivers in here earlier and nobody's mentioned rain. While I do see a lot of cloud about, no confirmation that weather will have any effect on this race. Might have it at the end, we might have it right at the beginning, or the sky might turn blue. We wait for the 5 red lights, one after the other, then there'll be a pause, and when they go off, we will go off. Aston Martin versus Red Bull into turn 1. This time there won't be a jump from Virus because he's down in P6. And look at the Aston Martin, very nicely done. Spikes up into the lead, but that was brief. Jonas retakes the lead of the race. We've got a caution in sector 1. I think that's a Haas going slowly at the rear of the field. That's Lebby. Hopefully he's been able to hold on to the entirety of his front wing. Otherwise he's going to have to make a pit stop at the end of that lap. That's going to push him even further behind the field. We now have a Williams at the rear of the field. That's the caution in sector 1. Williams is back on circuit. I think that was an Aston Martin, so all sorts of havoc. That was Spikes. Man was challenging for the lead of the race not so long ago, now down in P9. That's what happens on these classic circuits. They're a little bit more narrow than you're used to. There's gravel. You're not able to just shoot across that tarmac runoff area. The gravel slows you down. Once you get back on track, it takes a little while just to fire those tires back up. So Spikes, a lot of momentum lost. It's challenging for the lead. Now he's trying to stay in the point. Is one of the retirees of the sprint race. Hopefully he will not repeat the feat. What's that? Repeat the feat. Currently in the points is Skull. This is the driver we know is quick. Of course he won round 4, season 12 of SAFRL. But when he gets it right, he'll be extremely quick. And he gets it wrong, he can turn into Kimi Raikkonen very quickly. Andre P11 just outside the points for him. He finished just outside the points in the sprint race. He'll be pretty annoyed if he finishes just outside the points in the feature race. Looking to get himself up into the top 10. Jonas sets the fastest lap for 1:12.6. Of course, we're going to see that lap time come down as the race goes on, as these cars get lighter, as the drivers go to softer compound. Of course, there are your tyres and brought them up for the feature race up until now. You see Jonas, your race leader, he's on a set of medium tyres. Then you got P2 and 3, Smurf and Virus. Those two drivers on a set of soft tyres. I think that's why they're able to stay out front and keep the pressure on Jonas. So those softs can last for quite some time. They lasted the sprint race quite easily. That was a 12-lap race with no interruptions in it. These drivers on the soft should be able to take it at least beyond lap 10. This is Lebby in P12. We got Harsh Cartoon. I'm going to say at each and every single race, change this name. This is a terrible, terrible name for a race car driver. Captain Slow. No, no, no. Then we've got Cooper at the rear of the field in one of the two Williams. The other Williams P9 Skull. P10, so he's made up position. The two soft runners in P2 and 3 for now. Pantry Star doing something completely different to the 3 cars ahead of him. He's got 2 soft runners ahead of him and 1 medium runner ahead of him. And he's the lead driver of the hard runners. 5 drivers choosing to go out on the hard tyre. Pantry Star in P4, then Death Queen in P7, Skull P9, Top Gun P11, and Hosh Cartoon, but I think Hosh Cartoon. 5 drivers. Andre now in the points. We said he'd be frustrated if he finished just outside the points. Well, now he's inside the points in P10. Position might come under pressure from his teammate not far behind. And will you look at who's in P7? I need answers. How was this done? Death Queen, P7, set of hard tyres. At this point in the race, those should be the worst tyres to be on. You'd much rather be on a set of mediums, on a set of softs that can have so much grip at this stage. But if the driver in P7 is able to hold her own on a set of hard tyres, when those softer compounds do come into play, it feels so much better than it does now. There's one thing I've said many times before on the stream. You decide to start on that hard tyre, going into turn 1, you're going to have the worst grip, the heaviest car. You're going to be driving that car at its absolute worst. And with each and every single lap, that car's just going to feel better. It's going to get lighter. You're going to go onto softer compound. The car just feels better as the race comes to an end. You can start on the hard tyre. Keep up with those drivers on the softer compound. But then I'd say, advantage to you. Pantry Star the lead of those hard runners in P4. But that he hasn't fallen too far behind. He's still just behind Smurf. Smurf in P3 on a set of soft tyres. And then just ahead of him, Virus in P2. Jonas cleared his way at the front. 4.6 seconds is the lead at the front. Cooper making his way around for another lap. Start of lap 6 for him. And slow P14. Ferraris will be hoping for something better than they had this afternoon. Of course, shocking double Ferrari retirement in the same corner. Not really the confidence boost they were looking for going into the Italian Grand Prix, so hopefully Ferrari can get all of that sorted out before next week. There was one Italian team on the podium today, but that was RB. Red Bull from Red Bull, but it's a big gap between them. 5.7 seconds. Jonas clearing off at the front. Remember what I said about the mediums. P2, P3, they should have the tyre advantage. That just shows you the overall pace from the driver in the lead, clearing out at the front on a set of mediums. Pantry Star on the hard tyre. I have to say, this is really impressive. On the hard tyre in P4, got P2 and P3 in his sights, been able to keep those soft runners within reach, all the while doing it on the worst available compound. Have a caution in sector 2, but everybody does appear to be on the move, so that was a quick off-track excursion. Which Driver who started in P2 for that sprint race, now running in P5 in the feature race. Death Queen on debut in that sprint race. SKR debut, picking up a point for P8. What a position this would be. The checkered flag were to fall right now. Currently running in P6 on debut. Very nicely done. Then behind Death Queen we've got the pair of Aston Martins. That is Spikes and Skulk. In fact, we don't have the pair of Aston Martins behind Death Queen because Death Queen's just made an overtake. Glitch drops down a position. Death Queen up to P5. And well. Apparently this is the reason why Death Queen does not race. Andre and Skull have been trying to keep her away from the sim. Have a caution in Sector 1. Again, quick look to the map, but everybody appears to be moving. Nothing serious. Been a real clean race up until now. You can see there are a few blue patches. There are a few dark clouds. Seem to be a lot more clouds at the start of the race, so to cut things off, clearing up. Rain will not be an issue. The momentum from the Mercedes. Death Queen up in P4. Set of hard tyres. This is not only quick, this is ridiculously quick. Up into P3 with the help of DRS. Nothing the Alpine could do to defend there. Death Queen up onto the podium. Jonas in P2. This is Virus. Driver in P2. The second Red Bull. You can see now he's coming under pressure from Death Queen. CT on there in the comment section just saying those softs are gone. Most of the drivers on the soft compound, they have chosen to come in and get rid of those softs. Just two drivers holding on to the softs for now. Virus and Smurf. 9 lap for both of those drivers on their soft compound. Now look at this queue. Look at this queue behind the Red Bull. Will he come into the pits? He's obviously losing a lot of time now. Pantry Star retires from the session and leaves the lobby immediately. We have a caution in Sector 2. Doesn't appear like it's going to trigger anything more than that. Of course, when we do get a safety car, you'll see that entire track light up in yellow, because we don't always get the right notifications here in spectator mode. The Spikes, the lead Aston Martin. The Aston Martins this weekend looked so quick in practice, in qualifying. Then Stroll had to start from the rear of the field. After his crash, Alonso got a terrible start. Things didn't look too good. Somehow those two finished 7th and 8th. Decent afternoon for the Aston Martin team. A weekend that promised a little more. The driver in P2. Andre, is this why Andre has been keeping her off the track? Been in P2. Jonas clear up the road, 11 seconds is the lead. Driver in P2. Doing a fantastic job. had to finish my sentence, but fortunately a spin for the Mercedes. But fortunately the Mercedes was all by itself in the middle of the track, so it hasn't lost any carbon fiber, hasn't lost any bits and pieces. Needs to get the head down again and drive. That was actually a quote from the F1 movie. Keep your head down and drive. Spike's now the driver who's taken up the mantle of best of the rest. Jonas out front, 12.2 seconds. Spike's in P2. And we've got Virus and Smurf, drivers that started on the soft compound. They've actually both come into the pits, just as I've mentioned their names. There is Virus, second Red Bull, the winner of the sprint race, driver who held P2 for a majority of this race. Now come into the pits, put on a set of hard tyres. If you know, in the comment section, let me know. And you get to the end of the race on a set of hards from lap 13. The Alpine of Smurf, the lone Alpine in the field. 5 drivers not taking part tonight and 1 retirement. Pantry Star. Captain Slow can keep all 4 cars, all 4 wheels on the tarmac. We don't want to see our double, or our second double Ferrari retirement at Zandvoort in a matter of hours. Jonas leads the way, Spike's in P2. Where did he come from? Told you he was good. Needs to keep everything together, just needs to keep consistent. Sort of like Lando Norris makes a mistake and then just spends too much time beating himself up about that initial mistake. And while doing so, loses concentration and makes a whole lot more. For the time being, well, doing what we all know he can do. Holding that Williams in P3, the same set of hards he started the race on. Asked the question earlier on in the comment section. Let me know if you've just put on a set of hard tires. Can you get to the end of the race? Yes, you can. It would be 21 laps from here. Look at that lead. 16.1 seconds. I think once he gets to the mark, then he's pit stop safe. He can actually make a pit stop and retain his lead. I'm saying you can make the hards go to the end, but the two-stop would be the better, or at least the faster option. Jonas 16 seconds out front, then the driver in P2, Skull. Last time we saw him, he was in P3. He's now up into P2. Doing the opposite of what a lot of drivers are doing. Started on that hard tyre. Started with the disadvantage. In the hope of getting the advantage in the second stint. And saying the hards can do a total of 31 laps. So they're pretty much bulletproof. Skull in P2 clears Cooper. I believe that is Cooper. Yes, it is. The second Ferrari now coasting around the circuit. Double Ferrari retirement. The Fosse. Well, they've all gone home. No bueno indeed. Jonas leads the way from Skull. That gap starting to stabilize. 16.5 seconds. But remember, Jonas is on a medium set of tires. Those mediums should be going off. Already done 16 laps with that set of tires. How much longer will he go? Of course, he'll be looking at his lap times. As long as he's doing consistent lap times, well, then there's no need to come in. The moment he sees his lap time start to drop, the moment he starts to feel slipping and sliding in corners where he was once completely confident, then he'll quickly jump into the pits. Leave right on. Have a look at the sky and you can see a lot more blue. So at the start of the race there was a lot of grey about. We had rain in qualifying. We wondered if that rain was going to come to the race. It's not been the case, and the weather has gotten better as the race has gone on. Just got the one penalty in the field. That is for the driver known as Glitch. That penalty, a 10-second penalty, so I believe that was speeding in the pit lane. Of course, speeding in the pit lane gets you a 10-second penalty that can be served at your next pit stop, or it will be added on to your race time. If you get caught speeding under a safety car, well, that's a drive-through. Then you just get the 3 laps. You have to do your drive-through, otherwise you get a disqualification, and we saw an example of that not so long ago. Jonas leads the way, lap 18 of 36. Skull in P2, still doing a fantastic job. Halfway stages in this race. The top 3, well, they haven't even experienced their pit window just yet. There's quite a few of you watching. If you are watching, hope you're enjoying the content. Of course, this is SKR. On a Sunday night, we do this every Tuesday. This is round 11 of season 12. Penultimate round, one more to come after this. Next week we'll be in Monza. Of course, we also do SAFRL on this channel on a Tuesday night. Both McLarens now in the top 10, Andre in P7. As I say that, Top Gun's in the pits. He may fall out of the top 10. Scott Kuhn quite a far way back, 38 seconds a trip. That sort of gap happened. Huge gap between P10 and P11, 38 seconds. And then another huge gap between 12 and 13, almost 30 seconds. A really, really huge gap in the field. And those drivers, well, they'll be praying for a safety car. Of course, once you get lapped, safety car doesn't help you too much. That complicates your race a little. Drivers who would have caught you over a period of time and lapped you one by one, well, they're, oh, wow, I mentioned it. It happened. What can I do? Safety car. Lap 20 of 36. Let's mix it up. The Let me know in the comment section. Tion Wheeze, if you're listening, let me know in the comment section what is the next move. Safety car, lap 20 of 36. Skull still out on track. 19 lap old hard tires. Jonas, well, he's just come into the pits and put on a set of hard tires. I think he came in moments before that safety car was activated. Of course, Skull will be able to get around, make a pit stop of his own. This might have affected just the way he wanted to do things. Maybe he wanted to take those hard tires a little further, give the mediums a little bit more time to breathe in that final stint. At the moment he might be stretching the mediums. The saying soft can do 14 laps, mediums can do 21. All compounds are a viable option. What will Skull do? So we've got a good helicopter shot of him coming into the pits and then slowing down for the line, and oh well. That is going to annoy him. Comes into the pits. He has picked up a 10-second penalty for speeding under the pit lane. But have to put that out of his mind. Get on with things. 21 of 36. It's our first safety car of the evening. We got through the sprint race completely unscathed. Did more than half of this race unscathed. Eventually the safety car has reared its head. The race was falling for a safety car because of those huge gaps at the rear of the field. And that's exactly what we got a few corners later. Drive-through penalty, speeding under the safety car. That's what we mentioned earlier on. That driver's going to have a drive-through penalty. That is not a 10-second penalty. There is a difference between the two. For say drive-through penalty, you need to serve it within 3 laps. And of course, it cannot be served under a safety car. If you go into the pits under safety car, well, they're simply going to change your tires. That drive-through will only apply at racing speed, and you have 3 laps to do so. We're saying Death been absolutely killing it, and yes, she is in P9. Of course, she was even higher up the field before that singular mistake came. Said she needed to get it out of her mind and just keep on racing. The safety car will allow everyone to just have a bit of a breather, collect their thoughts. You were getting a little bit too worked up. If the heart rate was getting a little bit too high, you were starting to say this race is over for me. This just gives everybody a chance to calm down, re-look at things, and have another go. I'm telling Weiss that you didn't need to teach Death Queen how to spin. I agree, you could have just left that chapter out of your teaching experience. Fantastic job up until this point. Points on debut in the sprint race. And if things continue in this vein, there will be points. Debut feature race in SKR. And maybe this will convince Death Queen to take a full seat going into season 13. Didn't think we'd eventually get her on the racetrack, but we did. Now let's get her a full seat. See the safety car pulling off into the distance. Lead driver will wait for that safety car to come into the pits. Then he will lead the field away. Here we go, Skull versus Jonas into turn 1. And the Williams immediately gets attacked into turn 1. The Red Bull around the outside. Still have safety car on our screens, but I assure you we are back to racing conditions. Lap. I don't know how this game works sometimes. Jonas leads the way. He was in P2. He led this race for the entirety of the race. He did not like being in P2 at this stage. Considers to be P1 to be his own. And he very quickly took that position back. He finished the move that Max Verstappen tried to do into turn 1. The Dutch GP. Jonas leads the way, Skull in P2. He missed something. How did Skull get into P2? Well, Skull was already in P2 on an old set of hards, and that safety car allowed him to get rid of the hards and get himself a fresh set of mediums. There was a big gap between Jonas and Skull. Safety car cancelled that gap and put them on the same set of tyres. Jonas P1, Skull P2, Spikes P3. And you got Top Gun and Virus 4 and 5, Smurf in 6th, Glitch in 7th, Skulk in 8th, Tosh got 2 9th. And then Levy making up the top 10, but for how much longer? Because he's got a Mercedes up his inside, and it's that Mercedes, it's Death Queen. There is only one Mercedes out on circuit, so there can be no confusion. Death Queen up into the points, P10. With just 12 laps to go. Have a caution in sector 3. Everybody does appear to be moving. I think that was a McLaren at the rear of the field. Top Gun now enters the pits. I think that was the McLaren that was having the issue. Jonas leads the way. Spike, Skull, Virus, Smurf. Spikes needs to get within that 1 second. And he's getting closer and closer to that 1 second. You know what happens when he gets within the 1 second? He's going to get the use of DRS. And on a circuit where it's very, very difficult to overtake, the use of DRS is absolutely necessary. He is within that 1 second, 7/10. We have a caution in sector 1. That's a McLaren again. Last time we got a yellow flag, it was for a slow-moving McLaren. This time, it's for a broken McLaren. Top Gun retires from the race. Car was there stationary in sector 1. Not quite sure what happened to that McLaren. But Spikes applies the pressure to the Red Bull. Fastest lap of the race, 11.0. And that gap has come down to nothing. I was talking about getting into DRS was crucial. Well, now the gap is 0.3 of a second. We're on the same set of tyres. We have a race on our hands. Of course, don't forget, in the same frame really, just 0.6 of a second adrift from that battle. Got the man in P3, Skull. Have that penalty hanging over his name. He'd love a safe car. Come into the pits, get rid of the penalty. Unfortunately, everybody so close together that if the rest of the drivers decide to hold on to track position, well, you're going to come out at the rear of the field. 10-second penalty that could be a race breaker. Both Aston Martins in the points. Of course, we've got Spikes flying at the front in P2, challenging Jonas for the lead. But his teammate Skull in P10, picking up one more point for Aston Martin. This is the Aston Martin fighting for 25 points on the night. The battle is Jonas versus Spikes. Aston Martin. And in the Constructors' Championship, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted the Drivers' Championship. There we go. Jonas leads the way. Then Spikes 99 points in P4. Who wants to get the maximum out of this championship might not be able to win it. There's a big difference between P4 and P2. He wants to make up all the positions he can. Jonas leads from Spikes, 6/10. Of course, now you start to think about that move. You start to think, where do I make the move? Do I have the speed to get away from him? Or am I going to make the overtake too early and then have to defend for the last 8 laps of the race? Decisions you have to make, calls you have to make, all the while driving around very, very quickly. Skull still holding on to that P3. Fortunately for him, he does have a bit of a lead on Virus, 5.6 seconds. That's in this race. If he's able to extend that gap beyond 10 seconds, well, then he'll be able to keep his podium. Keep your eyes on the gap between the Red Bull and the Williams. Skull will have to push the final stages of this race if he wants to hold on to that podium. Glitch in P6. And what a debut night. Death Queen, P7, make that P6. Levy, or the Glitch, comes into the pits. And that Mercedes promoted up into P6. Remember, this race could have been even better, that one spin. But so far it's been the only blemish on what otherwise has been a very impressive evening. What do you think? I think we need a version of the F1 Academy. Jonas and Spikes, that gap still within a second. Jonas looking maybe just starting to get some breathing room. As I say that, back to 3/10 of a second. Skull still in P3. That gap, I said it grow beyond 10 seconds. He might be able to hold on to this podium. Well, he's grown it from 5.5 seconds to 6.6 seconds, so the gap is getting bigger. It's going to take going to need quali lap after quali lap. That means everything you've got. Jonas, at one stage, he led this race with a lead over a pit stop. 20 seconds worth of a lead. And look what one safety car has done. It brought the field together. And the second time of asking, he hasn't been able to wriggle off the field. And what looked like was going to be a easy stroll to the end, became a little bit more difficult than that. Of course, in case you didn't know, here's a fun fact. If I mentioned Stroll, Lance Stroll came into my mind. Lance Stroll is not Lance Stroll's real name. In fact, Lance Stroll's real name is Lance Strulovich. I'm not making that up. Lance Strulovich. Jonas leads from Spikes. Skull still in P3, and that gap growing nicely, going in the direction Skull behind. I said it needs to be over 10 seconds. It was 5.5, then 6.6, now it's 7.6, going in the right direction. He knows what he needs to do to hold on to his podium, and at the same time, he's still fighting with the possibility of a P2 and even a P1. He can see it in front of him. Whenever you can see the lead in front of you, that little bit of extra hunger, that little bit of extra hope. Any sort of mistake from those two up the road, you're going to find yourself in the lead of the race. Virus in P4. Second Red Bull and the winner of the sprint race. Skull now 2.9 seconds behind Spikes. Just 6.5 seconds ahead of Virus, so I think he's lost a bit of time. We didn't know if that was internet related or if that was him actually going off track. Looks like he did spend some time off track. It's right on the back of the top two. And now he's 3.8 seconds adrift from those top two. And the gap to Virus, almost 7 seconds, all the way down to 5.4. Death Queen makes up another position. With the help of DRS, flies past the Red Bull. Virus demoted down one position to P5. And Death Queen, well, was on for a podium. Had a slight slip. And somehow, she's up for a podium again. Death Queen up into P4. Skull up the road with a pretty harsh penalty. And that gap going the wrong way. 3.1 seconds. And as I say that, 2.9 seconds. It's been getting closer and closer. She might not need that penalty to beat Skull. She might be able to pass him on the race circuit. And that would be something he's going to hear about for the rest of the week. Jonas, Spikes, Death Queen, Virus. That Skull into the pits. Yes, Skull comes into the pits. Is he calling it a day? Don't see new tyres going on the car. Serving his penalty. Retire immediately. If you have a penalty, they probably have to do the penalty before you can retire. I think that's what Skull is doing because he's been there for quite some time. Jonas leads the way, Spikes P2, and look who's just gained P3. It's Death Queen. Comment section very, very quiet. Either comment section is full of drivers or everybody watching with intent. Jonas leads from Spikes. And the debutant getting more of the broadcast footage. Mercedes in P3. Take the pressure off of Death Queen, get the cameras off the Mercedes. Let's go back to the lead at the front. Jonas leads from Spikes. Just half a second between the two. Lap 35 of 36. Spikes has kept him honest. Usually, Death Queen sits in the comment section, supporting Skull, supporting Andre, supporting everybody really. Tonight, made the change, went to the race circuit, and well, wasn't just there to make up the numbers. Points on debut, sprint debut. And who could have thought the night would get even better after that? Sprint points on debut. Well, might get even better. Could be a podium on debut. Jonas goes over the line with 1 lap to go, gives it a weave. Thought I was missing something, thought I missed a lap somewhere when I saw that weave. I thought that was a celebration weave. Not quite, 36 of 36. Still a few kilometers to go before this one can be called, but Death Queen doing a fantastic job in P3. She's got a lead over Virus of 2.1 seconds. Really just about bringing that car home. Skull sets the fastest lap of the race. Look at that. Might actually still get a point out of this evening. 10. Rest set of softs. Long to go. 36 of 36. This is the view from Spike. Goes through the embanked corner for the final time. There's the celebratory weave. Jonas over the line. Spike's over the line. Now we have to go to Shirley. Shirley, driver of the day. Points on debut in the sprint race. Podium on debut in the feature race. Death Queen picks up points for P3. And on the same day, Hajar picks up his maiden podium. Death Queen picks up the maiden SKR podium. Now I think it might be a problem. Get her off the race circuit. Messages coming in. Well done, Death Queen. Indeed, well done, Death Queen. Queen, you legend. Absolute. Not the winner of the night, but definitely the star of the night. Nothing easy about racing in SKR. There's some very, very quick drivers in this field. A podium on debut. That's rather impressive. There we go, race winner Jonas. Skull picks up the fastest lap, the most overtakes also going to Skull, and the cleanest driver going to Skull. I've missed something there completely. What's happening here? Results, weekend results. No, I want the race results. Jonas. Well, these are the race results. Jonas takes the victory. Spikes in P2. I'm not sure what we saw over the line then. Virus P3, Smurf P4, Skulk P5, Glitch P6. Then we've got Harsh Cartoon P7, Levy P8, Skull P9, and Andre makes up the points positions. According to this list, Death Queen P11, Captain Spoke P12. Done in 13. Got that wrong, I apologize. Missed the last two. There we go, folks. That was season 12, round 11 at Zandvoort for SKR. And what an interesting race it was. Of course, just the one safety car, not that many penalties in the field. Of course, last time we were in Zandvoort, we did it in reverse. We had 3 or 4 safety cars and a big handful of penalties. So tonight things were a lot cleaner because Well, maybe it's because we did Zandvoort the right way round. There's the explanation. It says that Death Queen left earlier than supposed to, and she got DSQ, but she will still get P3 in the standings. Absolute star of the night. Hope she makes her way to the comment section so I can congratulate her. Those points in the sprint race on debut and podium in the feature race on debut. Fantastic evening. Of course, there were quite a few of you watching at some point in the night, so if you enjoyed the broadcast, if you enjoy this kind of content, please leave a like on the video. Of course, if you're interested in driving for one of these leagues, SKR on a Sunday night starts at 6 p.m. South African time. And then obviously SAFRL is another option, also broadcast on this channel. That's on a Tuesday night, 8 o'clock South African time. And of course, if you're interested in joining either one of these leagues as we head off into season 13, you can obviously contact us either through the comment section, or you can just comment on the community post on this channel. I want to thank everybody who's joined us. I'm still waiting to see if Death Queen will make a return to the comment section, but I'll leave you with a little bit of music, and I'll see you all again on Tuesday. Let me just have a look in the Discord for a moment. No one in the cool down room, but maybe we'll get a full cool down room for next week's finale. So until Tuesday night, thank you everybody, and cheers.
This race, Carlos got a loan. I never saw Red Bull again. Now he's winning elsewhere, leaving helmet in pain. They dangle that seat like a carrot on a string, but when you reach for glory, you're left with nothing but sting. Red Bull's wings, they lift you up, then crash you to the ground. Promise seats and glory, but them lies keep spinning around. From Daniel Tier, Alex and more, they fell. Red Bull's driver graveyard, where dreams go to dwell. So here's to the drivers who fought through the pain. Daniel, Pierre, and Alex rising up again. Red Bull's got its titles, but these boys paid the cost. In the dust of melting keys, their dreams ain't fully lost.
You've got a fire burning deep inside, a spark in the dark where your dreams collide. They'll tell you to stop, say the road's too long, but your heart keeps beating to a rebel song. Take a step, don't look below. Every scar's a story, only you will know. The weight of the world can't break your stride. You're carving your name where the stars reside. When the shadows call, when the nights grow cold, you'll find the strength in the tales untold. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. The ground may shake, but your roots run deep. Every fall you take is a promise you keep. The doubters will fade, their voices will break, 'cause your soul's on fire and it's yours to take. Run through the rain, chase the endless fight. Every dream you claim lights a spark in the night. The horizon's calling, it's yours to claim. A warrior's heart with a fearless flame. When the shadows call, when the nights grow cold, you'll find the strength in the tales untold. You can rise to the sky, every step is a battle won. Your story's just begun. Oh, let it soar. Forevermore, forevermore. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. So keep on climbing, don't ever slow. The stars are waiting where the brave ones go. You'll rise to the sky. Yeah, you'll rise to the sky. A legend in the making till the end of time.
Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Can't, it's broken! It's broken!
I am stupid. I am stupid. I switch off everything.